And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Live to Give exit interview with our third voted out, Miss Stephanie. As always, I'm Sean, your casting producer and interview extraordinaire, along with our host, Brandon. Brandon, would you like to say hello?
Hey, everyone. I'm excited to be here. Steph, super excited to hear your opinions. We've heard a lot of it in the game from episodes, but I'm really excited now that you're out and you've watched it and your journey has now come to an end, kind of to hear your perspective on everything that's going on. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Yep. So Steph, going right off the bat, introduce us. Tell us some fun facts. What don't you think people have gotten to know about you going into this game?
Oh boy. Fun facts. What are fun facts about me?
I don't know any fun facts. I know bad facts.
No.
Well, Steph, why don't we start with how did you get into this event actually? Like how did Live to Give kind of enter your life?
Yeah.
Sure. So I actually found out through Josh Vargas. He played last year. He's my brother-in-law. He played in season 3, and he played for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation for our niece. And I don't really know how he found it actually, but he said this is something that I would love, and this is like right up my alley. So I took a chance and I ran with it.
Steph, so one thing that stood out to us big time about you that I don't know, has the episodes had a chance to really talk about it, is your background with your charity, why you chose it. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I chose the prostate cancer of coalition for Minnesota because I actually lost my dad due to stage 4 prostate cancer on Christmas Eve 3 years ago now almost. So it'll be 3 years this Christmas. It came on really quick, stage 4, and he only had about 5 months to fight for it, and it was already so far gone. So he was a big avid Survivor fan, so I thought I needed to do something and compete for him.
How did that kind of bond you guys growing up? Because I remember when we did your interview, what stood out to us actually a ton was the fact that you said you watched Survivor with your dad growing up. So kind of talk about that relationship and how, being able to do this event kind of almost fulfilled part of, that dream of, his.
Absolutely. So growing up every Wednesday night, that was just our thing after religion class, CCD. We were on the couch watching Survivor, and then throughout, growing up and the different stages of life, even when I moved to Duluth, 2.5 hours away, we'd still call each other right after the episode got over, and we talked about who we liked, what we thought about the blind sides, and it was just a really fun way to still connect with my dad, and it built a strong relationship. And, even when I turned 18, I actually applied for Survivor twice. So it was fun. And he was the one that recorded me. And that was a really special bonding moment for us. So yeah, I think this really fulfilled what I would think my dad would want me to do.
I mean, talking about fulfilling that, you may not have been there the whole breadth of the game, but as we'll get into, you have experience from start to finish, I feel like, and we will definitely get into that. I'm curious to hear.
Such a rocky road.
Let me just say, I was episode 1. I'm like, Stephanie. But let's talk about first stepping foot at the event. So you first get there, we check you in, you go to the feast where you're not really allowed to talk game, but you're still able to eye people up. Can you tell me what you were thinking through that process? Who stood out? What your mind was doing? Anything like that?
Absolutely. I think the 2 people that I really built a connection with were Billy and Derek, because I kind of talked about with
Billy.
them.
Wait, who? Billy?
Or Bobby. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Bobby and Derek. but names were thrown at me so quickly. But Bobby and I think with them too, I really built a connection with them, and I was really into getting to know Gary, and I wanted to actually work with Gary. So I'm so bummed wasn't able to. But yeah, I thought going ahead, I knew there were some women that I absolutely did not want to work with right off the bat.
Who?
Sarah. Sarah. But I also knew there was a lot of people from Rogers, and in my head, I was like, oh, wow, I could use all these Rogers Alliance people from just knowing their background too. So,
well, what's
like,
so funny about that Rogers thing, I feel like me and Sean talk about this all the time. When Sean's like, it's all these Rogers people. I think what's funny is when we go through casting now, it's interesting because even though there's a lot of local people, and I hope people that apply end up listening to this interview, we're not going to cast people that are just going to align because they're local, because I don't think even the local thing, at that point, doesn't always hold strong, because a lot of these gamers, as we've already seen, are playing, and it's been three episodes. So it's kind of crazy to see it all happen. That's what casting's so fun, because even though you saw a bunch of Rogers people, it didn't mean that Rogers people weren't going to vote you out,
Exactly. So I wasn't banking on it, but it was just another strategic possibility maybe.
Well, one thing that stood out to me from just what you're just talking about from the feast is the fact that every name you listed, even though you technically listed 4 and you meant 3 because, Billy Bobby, it's hard, but were males.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, our initial twist was Clash of the Genders. How did that, you walk down from above, you get down there, how did you finding out, we hand you your buff, you open it up, you look around, what's your first thought when you see who's on your tribe?
I didn't mind it at first, but I knew I don't know how to build relationships with women. It's really hard for me. And I think, there's so much judgment that goes on instantly. And it's like, oh, great, where am I placed? Or what are they all thinking? And I think that mentality is just like, whatever. So that's kind of when I knew it was the women versus men. My whole perspective was like going with the flow. Like, I don't really know how I'm going to do this, but we'll see. We'll wing it.
So, Steph, going in, what was your strategy, and then how did it change when your little we're gonna call it the idol scandal, scandalous idol stuff happened? What was your strategy going in? Because I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think you finding that idol completely changed your whole game for the rest of the time that you were there.
It did. I got screwed over there.
Hi, Kurt.
My strategy honestly was to find somebody to align with really quickly. I was always going to keep open-minded to everybody though. So even though I would say I was locked in with somebody, I knew I was still going to be working on the side. You just have to. So I was really trying to just keep my options open and be everyone's thought, oh, Steph, I want to be with Steph. I want to work with Steph. So I really just wanted to make a positive impact, that everyone liked me and just wanted to work with me. But when I found that idol, it kind of just shot out the door, because I had a big target on my back within 30 seconds. So
can we go back to that? I wish we could bring up a replay video clip. Did Kim give you it? It looks like she handed it to you, but I couldn't tell based on the footage if it was you both went and she backed off, or she pushed it towards you.
So no, she didn't hand it to me. I actually picked it up, and because I'm thinking we're in nature, we got a tarp. I thought it was stakes. I thought it looks like stakes that you prop down your tent. So I'm like, oh, they gave us stakes. So I was literally gonna hand it to her and give it to her because it was stakes, and I'm like, this ain't stakes. This is something else. So I kept it for myself. I'm like, oh my god, it's an idol. And everyone is staring at me because all they do is stare. So, yeah.
I could say right off the bat that was even
I was uncomfortable, physically
everyone
uncomfortable.
The whole production and crew, even if we were not even anywhere near your camp, was knowing what was going on, because everyone was like, what just happened at the ladies' camp? So how you find it, like you just said, you realize what it is, people are staring. Initially you're like,
It's
I
not.
don't, it's nothing. So like, how do you reconcile that? How do you save yourself when people literally are seeing you holding this hand? What's your
I
thought?
know. Well, I couldn't even read it. I was so just caught off guard. I didn't even read it. So then I'm like, I don't know what it is yet, and I'm like walking away. But I really had to read it because I was put on the spot, and I don't do well under pressure. Like I get really but yeah, I just.
And here comes the funniest quote. What you got there, Steph?
Oh my God, I know. Well, then that was just. Oh man.
So
You had
after
to
that,
say it was an idol.
after that idol that you found, what did people react? Were people coming up to you? Were you going up to them? Who was the first to approach you and ask you what it was? Or
I think it was Hannah. I think Hannah was the very first one that walked up to me, and maybe Kim. I can't really remember off bat, but I knew I had a. I honestly didn't know what I was going to do. I was so frozen and lost. I'm like, I just got to wait on this for a little bit.
And you're like, well, I hit a goal. I found an idol. Yeah. It's
Well, I said it was an idol, so it is what it is. And I think I just only took, and then, well, everyone talked. Hannah and Kim talked, so the whole tribe knew. It wasn't that hard to figure out.
So did you ever expect going into right, you're starting to make alliances, which I'll come back to that. I just want to know right now, since we're on the idol topic, did you know right away that you were just going to have to play it immediately at that one? Or were you going to try to play something and maybe save it? Or, I mean, there was you were one of the few people who were up on the block that round, really, because so many people had Unity. I mean, that couldn't be an easy decision. So what were you thinking?
So right away, because everybody knew. Hold on. Stop. Right away, I knew, since everybody knew, I honestly didn't even want it because everyone knew. And at that point, it's either you go into every single round, everyone's like, oh, Steph still has her idol. She didn't play it. So really, I was just like, since everyone knew, I just wanted it gone personally.
So how did the alliances kind of stack up at that point? I mean, you have this idol on your back. Did people approach you about using that to their advantage in regards to an alliance? Or was it just we're flushing this right away? I mean, because I think we saw from the footage, even though you said you were going to play it, it's people still didn't believe you were going to play it. Was the paranoia that rampant 10 minutes in already because you found it?
I don't know. I don't know what those girls were thinking. All I know is I said, I'm going to flush it. I'm going to flush it. And I had to, and that's what I wanted to do. So whether they believe me or not, that's up to them. But for me, that's what I wanted to do. That was a risk. I mean, they don't know me within 10 minutes. So that's a risk that they're taking.
So who in that first round, Steph, were you? I mean, I think we saw from the footage, it looked like you and Hannah were kind of, close, a possibility of, Serena and Maggie being in there. But were there any other people that we didn't see from the episodes that were kind of talking to you and saying they were with you, even if they potentially weren't? Or kind of to break that down for us, your alliances that first episode.
Yeah, so I think right away it was Hannah, definitely. I believed that Kim and I were in an alliance together. I don't really know now. But she said, we may not talk much, but I'll inform you on everything. So
Chaos Kim.
yeah, so I was like, okay, all right. And then I kind of just started steering away from that because I'm like, I don't know where you're at. So I kind of stuck with Hannah for the time being.
So you just brought up Kim. It's funny, Kim's been brought up a lot lately, I feel like, and we saw the Chaos Kim hashtag last episode on the screen. What was she, when you said she was aligned with you, what type of alliance was she doing? Was she talking a lot to everybody and saying that, or was it more of just that was a you relationship that she was just talking to you, saying that she'll inform you?
it felt honestly like she was just talking to me. Like I was with her. So I'm like, it was a very one-on-one. I'm like, all right, I'm buying it. Like I'm going with it. And I truly thought like, because like I said, my strategy was I wanted to have these other relationships. So I thought I was close with Hannah. Great. I'm close with Kim without everyone knowing. Great. That's what I wanted. So I believed I was with Kim. Was I really? I don't know, I guess.
Um,
Actually knows.
that might be a question you can reach out to her with. So, well, I want to talk about the tribal. I think we got a lot of basic. Well, actually, let's go back to camp really quick. Who were you threatened by, and who right away were you like, you didn't want there? I mean, because Sarah couldn't be voted out. Before we introduced the necklace advantages, who was kind of your target right away? Sarah couldn't be voted out because she got it right away, right? Who was your actual like target once you found Sarah couldn't be voted out?
Coach K. Coach K and
Interesting.
What? Well, I just got a weird, but I don't know. I just didn't have that like I don't want that. I knew she was gonna be tough. Sorry, but I knew you're gonna be hard for me. So to build that relationship with. So I knew Coach K, and then of course Sarah's ally, like her partner in crime, which was oh my god. Kim. No, not Kim. Oh my god, I can't do the name. Yeah.
Nicole.
Nicole, there we go. I'm terrible. I'm
Billy.
Oh, it's been a long day.
So going into that tribal stuff, there was how did Ellie's name get brought up? Was it literally that idol jug? That one scene we saw, was that literally why she went home? No other reason?
Yeah. I mean, Jenny kind of was just there and nobody threw Jenny's name in. So really it was either going to be me or Ellie. And that's just the way it was. There was only 4 of us. So
did you talk to Jenny at all? I mean, did you and Jenny, because I don't think we saw a single scene with you guys even talking in either of the first couple episodes when you guys were on the tribe.
No, we didn't talk at all. So I don't know why it happened so fast that we just didn't get a chance. But yeah, so everyone said Ellie, and then Kim used Ellie found an idol. So then that's where I'm like, well, it's either Ellie or me, and I knew I was safe, so of course it was automatically going to be Ellie, and that's just the way it went down.
Sean?
Oh no, you can keep going. I was just thinking.
Well, I was like, Sean, I'm thinking the vote at that tribal, I think, was 5 Ellie, 4 you, 1 Hannah. So in retrospect, you didn't have to play it at that tribal.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Remember, Sean? So what?
I thought that was the case. I literally had people argue with me, and I'm like, watch the clips.
No, I think it was 5-4-1 because Ellie voted Hannah. So if you would have, let's do a hypothetical. I love what ifs. I mean, this is a game of what ifs when you look back if you lost. What would have been different if you would have had that idol at that next round? Do you think like Hannah could have got an idol played on her and you could have split a vote and gotten Jenny out, or kind of Bobby even, or kind of what do you think would have gone differently if you wouldn't have played it and you would have went to round 2 with an idol?
I would have been voted out. I mean, they would have voted me out no matter what, because then I had lied to them. I didn't stick to my word. So that's why I think I got saved that second round and Hannah got voted out, because I stuck to my word. And honestly, I think that's why they kept me, at least for that round, I guess.
So I know that. So, Ellie got voted out. We got the swap, right? You end up with Bobby. I mean, we say it every interview. We say it daily. I feel like I'm going to be the first one to say it. I was literally messaging these guys ahead of time. Whoever gets voted out that next round is going to be leaving the next round. Like, didn't happen, clearly. So what was your thought when you received Bobby, and what was your strategy? Why didn't you vote him out? Did you want to use him? Did you use him? Like, I don't even know what that relationship was like.
Yeah, sorry, I had to move a room again. Kids are loud. But I thought it was great that Bobby came on board, because it kind of switched things up and it gave us, a different perspective. Everyone's game changed again, and we all used Bobby to our advantage. So it was great.
And then we see that there's this bottom. I mean, very transparently going into that tribal where Hannah went, we see this bottom of you and Hannah. Kind of Maggie a little bit. Actually ended up being Maggie was on the bottom as well. And then Serena kind of flipping. Why do you think Bobby, because Bobby got pitched from both of your sides, right? Why do you think Bobby ended up going with Sarah and them? It was because of that immunity, do you think? Or were there other, connection, vibing reasons that you think he went with them?
Yeah, it's probably the immunity. I mean, honestly, I didn't really think too hard on it personally. Kind of because it happened so quick, but it is what it is. And I think nobody really knew what they were doing until Tribe came. But so, yeah.
So, okay, so I'm trying to remember which challenge was it that was this the Hannah challenge with the puzzle, or was that the one before?
Yeah, Hannah puzzle challenge.
So, what do you think that played anything into that decision to get Hannah out? I mean, she literally lasted how long to finish the puzzle, and then you guys lost. Do you think that played anything into your decision process, or did that come across to you? Because I mean, in my head, you were aligned with Hannah, seemingly. Do you feel that way, or is that like wrong on my part?
No, I think we were aligned for that time being. But yeah, probably that was probably part of it why she got voted out. But I don't think it was all of it.
And then, so it was you. You could be voted out that round. You were saved because of your idol play that first round. Perceivably, you were being honest and truthful. Bobby's being used as a vote, and it comes between Hanny and Jenny. Why do you think they didn't vote? Why was Jenny not voted out? I mean, I haven't seen a lot of what. I mean, was she literally not talking to people and just getting kind of brought along, or was she strategizing a lot more than we've seen in episodes? Because we haven't seen a lot of Jenny in episodes.
Yeah, she was quiet, so I don't think she didn't put a target on her back. And I honestly, Hannah was talking. She was making gameplay. She was making moves and trying things. And well, people catch on. That's a red flag. So I think that kind of got her into trouble too, especially when you got Sarah not on your side and she's safe. And if you're on opposite of Sarah, then you're pretty much shot down. So
I love that quote. So Hannah goes. That was amazing. Hannah goes. The necklaces come off of everybody except Nicole and Sarah. Did you think you were next on the chopping? I mean, because at that point, you guys didn't tribe swap. You guys were still in the game. Then Gary goes, but you don't know that the night is done. So what was the next game plan if you guys were to go to tribal? Would you have been easily voted out, or was there other stuff that we didn't really see going on?
Yeah, I was trying to do oh my gosh, before everything happened, I was trying to get everyone on board to flip and vote out Coach K. Like I thought I got everyone on board. I mean, I got everyone working and everyone said they were going to do it. So there was this big blind side that I planned on doing, and I firmly believe that everyone was going to do it. And I got everybody, but
so if you would have lost that tile challenge, which is also super cool. What was it like winning that? First of all, the women beating the men in this physical endurance tile comp.
Oh my god, it was totally awesome. Like, it was awesome.
And so if you guys perceivably would have lost that, Coach K would have gone home night one?
No. Coach K was the next morning. I don't know who would have gone home that night. It probably would have been me. But
because you needed time to implement her flip.
Yeah.
Okay, and that happened overnight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that morning. That happened that morning, like right away in the morning. But wow. I was working on it when Bobby came to camp because everyone was sleeping and I was up all night. So I tended that fire all freaking night.
So then we swap thoughts. When you thought, well, first of all, were you and Nicole close at all at that point, or was it almost like I didn't get the girl I needed on this camp?
Yeah, I wasn't close with any of the girls, but right before the swap, I was building a connection with Maggie, I feel like. And I really wish I solidified it with Maggie, but I didn't have that chance or the opportunity because I thought she was working completely 100% with Sarah. So I just really wanted to be with Maggie because I trusted her the most.
Yeah, can you give me just like a quick rundown of who was on that tribe again? It was you, Maggie, Nicole. I can't remember who else. Could you just remind me?
Ellie, Nick, Jesse, Brendan.
Yep.
Nick, Jesse, Brendan. Okay. Cool. Wow. So that challenge was so
The oil one.
what was that challenge? Which
the
one?
The oil up toss ring.
Oh,
That's
that
right.
was
The ring toss
terrible.
one. Yeah, can we talk about that? How was that for you? Because I know we've done that now for a second year, something similar, and that slip and slide is
Well, and what wasn't shown in footage, Steph, is you took, and I don't think it got aired because it was so long. You took forever on the counting.
I know. And the
that's right.
sucky,
The counting.
the most terrible part about it was I said, I'm terrible at counting. I'm slow with numbers. Like, I don't want to go first or second because I knew it was going to be probably big ones. Of course, I went second, and it's like the worst marble ball thing. And I'm just struggling because for the love of me, like, I'm the world's slowest counter. Like, and I told everybody this beforehand, and I just could not get a routine down. I couldn't figure out a path to go count.
But I mean, to be fair, you had no idea what you're going to be counting. For all you know, you could have been any order on there, walked up there, and it could have been one Eggcorn in there for all you know. So like, my opinion, I think if you had told me, and I'm just saying that you were struggling with counting, I probably would have put you earlier on because then maybe the better counters could have picked up in the past. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. How did you do on the ring toss part of it? I'm trying to remember.
I think I did fairly good. I think once I got to the ring, it took me like 2 shots, but I really like that. And same with that other game, like the ball rolly thing. Like, I'm pretty quick on that stuff. So
you were the ball rolling. Oh my gosh, amazing.
So what happened when you? Oh, sorry.
No,
Sean.
go. That's what I was literally.
What happened when you get to camp? Like, who did you talk to first? You guys lost. You're going to tribal. Who did you talk to first, and what did you think your chances were of staying over Nicole?
I honestly didn't think I was gonna have a chance just because I knew Ellie was out for revenge, and I already knew that. So really, I wish I would have talked to Ellie, made up for her, and explained like the only reason she did get voted off. Actually, it wasn't because of me, because everyone else voted her. Like, if it was a 5-4 vote, I would have been safe. But the target was me because I used my idol. But I went to Nick first, I think. So, but
well, what I found interesting during that whole exchange was the fact that Sarah and Nicole and Kim kind of led up that Ellie blindside. Ellie was blindside. I don't think anybody else was, but led up that Ellie blindside, and then you get blamed for it because you played your idol, which you had to play, and then Ellie's out for revenge on you, but not Nicole. So why do you think that was? Why? Why?
It's just a strategy. It is a good gameplay on their part. So put the blame somewhere else.
And what was your opinions? You kind of talked to Nick, Jesse, and Brendan at the social. What were your opinions on Jesse when you got, like, what was your opinion on Jesse when you got to camp? Kind of the guys you hadn't been with before.
Yeah, I knew they're all great, but I could feel like they're all connected. So it was really going to be hard to feel accepted. And I knew right off the bat I had to turn on Nicole. I mean, there was no way I was going to get all 3 of them and jump ship, but I thought they were all great. Like, I would have loved to have more time working with them all.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the whole twist of the season with the swapping tribe thing ended up ironically being your demise from Ellie, and it's super crazy because the whole setup of last episode was simply like Ellie wanted revenge on you for saving yourself, which is it's interesting to me. But Steph, what was that like when you got to tribal? I mean, it was evident that you and Nicole were going. I mean, it was obvious the 4 was sticking together.
Right.
What were you feeling? I mean, knowing that your time was potentially up and it was third person out.
It was sad. I already knew. Like, I already just had this feeling that I was already done. Like, you just get that vibe, you get that feeling, that natural instinct, and I was like, yep, like I can talk, but it ain't changing their minds. So that's what it was.
And after you get voted out, you know, your final words, what was that feeling what was that feeling like, knowing that it was done, like knowing that your torch was snuffed and you were out of the game and you were giving the money to your charity in honor of your dad?
You know, so many mixed emotions. I was happy, I was sad, I was mad, I was everything, but overall, I was so grateful and I had the best weekend ever and I still talk about it. So honestly, I was sad and hurt because I didn't win, but I'm pretty sure my dad was cheering me on and happy that I got as far as I did.
And how did this event, I mean, maybe it didn't, I mean, it might not have changed your life, but how did this event maybe open your eyes or make you see things differently or appreciate things that, you weren't aware of before?
You know, you just gotta, I, just meeting everybody and hearing their story and really respecting who each individual person is. I think that's what it's all about, and understanding that there's a purpose for everything and everyone deserves a chance and happiness.
I don't have any I mean, Steph, what are you doing? What's your life? What are you up to? I just saw you got a new job. You're not a hotel manager anymore. Kind of tell us an update on your life and what's up with Steph Diley.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I put the buff on my is that what it's called? The buff? Snuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buff snuff. No, that's what I did to your torch.
Yeah, well, yeah. So like I ended my career with the hospitality
You wear
industry.
your snuff, I'm dead.
Huh?
Did you just say you wear your snuff? I can't. That was too much for me.
Yeah. But no, I decided that I wanted to be done with the hospitality industry. I got a job at Bites, so taking on the construction role, I guess. I don't know. Living every day. And I think this charity had a lot to do with it. I think I realized like I just want to be happy and I wasn't happy anymore. So it opened my eyes.
And Steph, any advice for people wanting to apply to this? Did you hesitate? Did you jump right? Like what, this is a big thing for Sean. Like this is his stuff. Like what's some advice to contestants that you would give them if they're debating on applying but on the edge about it?
Give it a shot. It's, you only live one life, so why not? Just do it.
That's amazing. Steph, I'm just going to say this straight up. I know we talked about at the beginning. Your path was, I could never imagined it. Like, you moved us with your story about your father. I remember you interviewing, and you had like a portrait of the man next to you, and your props and everything. Like, we were like, this girl, she needs this opportunity to play. Like, our heart went out to you. And then my heart went out to you again as you're holding this idol in a circle. And then my heart went out to you that your experience maybe was cut too short. But in the end, I think that you are an epitome of someone that I look at, and I am so glad that you applied. And so happy. I wish, I mean, everyone's going to be voted out at some point. Of course, I wish that you would have lasted longer. But I hope that truly you've gotten the experience, and I'm so grateful that you came and played Live to Give.
And I think a funny fact too, Steph, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember this. So you probably don't. Your interview was almost a year ago. You were the only woman, and I'll say woman, to say when we first asked the question, what would you do when you get to camp? You're the only person that said, I'm going to look for an idol, and look what happened.
She did me.
You found it.
Yeah. Wasn't the way I wanted it, but I got it. Yeah. That's awesome.
I don't have much else, Steph. I think Sean really wrapped it up really well. I think the reason why this event happens is for two reasons. It's for our love for the show Survivor, and obviously the trying to implement that in real life, and also our love for charity. I think, from the second you interview, talking about you and your dad's love for the show, as well as the charity you're playing for, I do agree with Sean. I think you are an epitome of the exact reason we do this. And so I want to say, thank you for helping us show what we're doing too, because I think you are a very good example of this, overarching of this event as well. And I'm very happy that you applied and were able to come play. So
Oh, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Of course. Well,
I don't have anything else. Sean, you?
I don't have anything. Do you have any last words or anything you'd like to say, Steph, before we turn off the at least recording part?
Fun facts? Anything else?
Fun fact, I'm a mom. I'm chaos mom over here. But no, I deer hunt. I love every type of nature. I would love to show you my house where my deer heads are downstairs, but I won't do a tour.
Oh my
But
gosh.
no, that's all I got to say.
And then any
Well-
interesting last facts? One last thing. I mean, obviously the episodes only show so much. I think you definitely your journey was shown in your 4 episodes. But what is there something that we didn't see that you're like, I wish that would have been shown?
No, but the cricket part was awesome. Funny.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh. Crickets. Oh my, people are still talking about it.
How did we forget that?
Literally everyone talked about you. The idol, the crickets, what utter amazing. Sorry.
It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Oh.
All right. Well, Steph, thank you for joining me and Sean. It's crazy that this has been a year-long journey. We hope you stay in touch. We hope you, follow the episodes still, and we hope to, see you around the area. So,
You will.
all right, cool. Thank you for joining us, Steph, and we will just be in touch. See you later.
Sounds good. Thanks. Bye, guys.